Have you ever tried to speak English alone? But after just a few words, your mind freezes, and you start thinking, maybe I'm not ready? Maybe I'll never sound natural. You want to get better. You want English to feel easy, but every time you open your mouth, it feels like you're stuck behind an invisible wall, and no matter how hard you push, the words just won't come out. If you've ever felt this way, you are not alone. Thousands of English learners, maybe millions, feel exactly what you feel. But here's the truth no one ever told you in school. The real secret to speaking English naturally doesn't start in a classroom, and it doesn't start with a teacher. It starts with you, right here, right now, in the quiet moments when nobody is watching. So stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to show you the simple, gentle steps that can turn your English silence into real living conversation, even if you're practicing all by yourself. And if you follow along, this might be the lesson that finally sets your English free. You know, sometimes people ask me, why is it so hard to actually speak English, even when I can understand what you say in a podcast? And honestly, I get it. Maybe you know the grammar, you recognize all the words, but when you're alone, sitting on your bed or standing by the window, suddenly your mind just stops. All those words you've learned just float away. Your mouth doesn't want to move. It almost feels silly, right? You look around, like, am I really talking to myself right now? But here's the thing. It's not your fault, and you're definitely not alone. Most of us learned English as something we're supposed to study. We memorize, we write, we answer questions in class. But nobody ever really showed us how to just live with English. How to let it sneak into the background of your day, like a quiet song playing while you're making coffee, or brushing your teeth, or just staring at the ceiling. So let's change that, right here, together. Look around you right now, wherever you are. Pick 3 things you see. Don't try to be perfect, just let the English words come, whatever they are. I'll go first. Mug, phone, plant. Okay, your turn. Say them out loud if you can. If you're shy, just whisper or say them in your head. It's all good. Take a moment. Pause me if you want to. Seriously, no rush. There. How does that feel? Maybe a little weird or maybe kind of easy. But here's what matters. For just a few seconds, you let English walk into your real life. Not a lesson, not a test, just your space, your things, your voice. That's all we're trying to do at first. Just open the door a little bit. Now, here's a small thing you can do every day. No pressure, no big goals. Pick a moment, like right when you wake up or before you go to sleep. Look around. Name 3 things in English. That's it. Nothing fancy, and if you feel up for it, add a little sentence. My shoes are by the door. The light is on. I feel tired. It doesn't have to be beautiful, it just has to be yours. If you forget, that's okay. Just try again the next day. You're not losing. Every time you remember, you're making English a little less of a stranger in your life. Let's do it again, right now, just for practice. Ready? I'll look around with you. Book, glass, fan. The fan is on. See? Simple, honest, nothing to prove. That's how you start to let English float into your day, like sunlight, quietly making everything feel just a bit more familiar. And honestly, that's progress. Just being here, just trying, means you're already on your way.
You know, the more you let English just show up in little moments like that, the less scary it starts to feel. It's like, at first, you're just dipping your toes in the water, just testing it out. But soon, you realize maybe you can actually wade in a little deeper. Maybe you can build your own tiny bubble where English feels safe and normal, even if you're still the only one there. And you don't have to change your whole life for this. No need for hours of study or big promises. All you really need is to pick one simple moment, something you already do every single day, and gently tie a bit of English to it. Think about it. Every morning, you brush your teeth. Every day, you pour yourself a glass of water, or put on your shoes, or sit down at your desk. What if you used those tiny, boring moments as your English time? No pressure, no audience, just you and a habit you already have. Let's make it real. Tomorrow morning, before you grab your phone, take a breath and look around. What do you see? Try saying in English, I'm awake. The window is open. I feel sleepy. You don't have to write it down or record yourself. You can even just whisper. What matters is you're inviting English to join you in that quiet morning bubble when the world is still soft and you're not rushing anywhere yet. If mornings aren't your thing, pick another moment, like lunchtime, or when you get home, or right before bed. The routine doesn't matter. The consistency does. Just keep connecting English to that one tiny slice of your day over and over until it feels as normal as breathing. And if you ever feel silly, just remember every big change starts with something tiny. You're not just practicing English, you're slowly building a safe, gentle bubble where English belongs to you. Let's try it right now. What's one thing you always do? Brushing your teeth? Washing your hands? Making tea? Next time you do it, say a quick sentence in English. I'm brushing my teeth. The water is cold. My mug is empty. Even something this small is powerful. And honestly, if you can do this every day, just one small moment, one small sentence, you'll be amazed at how fast your English starts to feel like a natural part of your routine. So go ahead, pick your moment. Let English join you, quietly, like a gentle friend. Ready for the next little step? Let's build on this and make your English habits even stronger. Part 3. So, you've started letting English visit those little moments in your day. It's like watering a small plant, just a bit each time, but you're not really watching it grow until one day you notice a new leaf and you realize, hey, it's working. Now let's make your English roots even stronger by building tiny daily speaking habits. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to talk for 30 minutes or write a diary every night. Instead, let's try something super simple. Every day, choose 3 moments. Could be any time, any place. Just stop for a second and say out loud what you're doing or what's happening around you. Maybe you're cooking dinner. Try, I'm cooking rice. The water is boiling. I need salt. Or maybe you're cleaning up. I'm washing a cup. The soap is slippery. My hands are wet. Even if it's just, I'm tired. The sky is gray. My shoes are dirty. That counts too. And don't worry about making it fancy or correct. You're not in an exam. Nobody is judging you. The goal isn't to sound perfect. The goal is to make English part of your automatic life. Here's a trick that works for a lot of people. Pick one thing you always do, like making coffee, or turning off your alarm, or opening your door. Every time you do it, attach a single English sentence to it, like a little sticker in your mind. Let's have a good day. Coffee, please wake me up. I'm home. Say it every single time. It might feel silly at first, but trust me, after a week, it starts to feel real. It becomes a habit, like brushing your teeth. Let's try it now, together. Think about what you're doing as you listen to this podcast. Maybe you're walking, maybe you're lying in bed, maybe you're making breakfast. Can you say in English what you're doing right now? Go ahead. I'm walking. I'm making toast. I'm sitting on the floor. Say it out loud, or in a whisper, or even just in your head. You're training your brain to link English to your real, everyday actions. And here's something even more powerful. Try asking yourself a simple question and answering it, just like you'd do with a friend. What am I doing? I'm listening to a podcast. How do I feel? I feel calm. Or, I feel lazy, but I'm trying my best. What's the plan? I'll study after dinner. Or, I just want to relax tonight. The more you do this, the easier it gets. Bit by bit, your brain will stop translating and just start speaking, because English is now woven into your daily life. And remember, you're not building a palace in one day. You're just laying tiny bricks every time you say something out loud. 3 sentences a day. That's all it takes to start. So, what are your 3 sentences for today? If you like, write them down or say them as you're getting ready for bed tonight. Trust me, these tiny bricks will one day build a house that feels like home. Ready to keep growing? Let's move to the next part and see how you can make your confidence even stronger, even on the days you feel unsure.
Sometimes building these little habits is enough to get you started. But on other days, even saying one sentence can feel impossible. Maybe your mind goes blank, or you just can't get the words out. And that's okay. Those are the moments when it helps to remember you don't need an audience. You don't need someone to check your grammar or cheer you on. All you need is a little courage to talk to the one person who's always there. Yourself. I know, talking to yourself can feel strange at first. But honestly, it's one of the best things you can do for your English. It's private, it's safe, and you can be as silly as you want. The mirror is your best friend here. It never laughs, never judges, never interrupts. Try this. Tomorrow morning, when you're brushing your teeth or getting ready, look at yourself in the mirror. Yes, even if your hair's a mess, and say one kind thing in English. It could be simple, like, I'm doing my best. Today will be a good day. Or even just, I'm learning, and that's enough. Smile at yourself. Watch your face. Notice how you sound. Maybe a bit awkward at first, but that's okay. You're practicing the most important conversation you'll ever have, the one with yourself. And here's a secret. Every time you say something positive in English, your brain remembers it. It starts to trust your voice more. Little by little, you'll find yourself speaking with less fear, less doubt. If you want, take it one step further. Ask yourself a question in the mirror and answer it, just like a friend would. How are you today? I'm tired, but I'm okay. What made you smile? I heard a funny song this morning. You can even record a short video just for you. Not to post, not to show anyone else, but to see how your face and your voice change over time. And on days when you feel shy, just stand there, look at yourself, and whisper, I'm still here. I'm still trying. Because honestly, that's what matters most. You're not perfect, and you don't have to be. But you are brave enough to keep going, even if it's just you and your reflection. So, tomorrow, try it for real. Just one sentence to the mirror, then one more the next day. You'll be amazed at how much more confident your English feels when you're kind to yourself, and let yourself be your very first listener. Ready to keep going? Next, let's talk about what happens when you make mistakes, and why that's not something to fear, but something to celebrate. Now, let's be real. Even when you practice every day,
even when you talk to yourself or to the mirror, there are still going to be days when you mess up. You'll say the wrong word, or your mind will just freeze mid-sentence, and you'll think, ugh, I'm so bad at this. Why do I always make mistakes? But here's something I wish someone told me sooner. Mistakes aren't the enemy. They're actually your secret weapon. Think about it. Every mistake is like a little rain shower on the garden of your English. Sure, rain can feel cold and sometimes it ruins your plans. But without it, nothing would ever grow. So next time you mess up, try to smile and think, that's my English getting watered. You can even make it a bit playful. Try creating your own oops jar. Every time you notice a mistake, maybe you said she go instead of she goes, or forgot a word and had to describe it another way. Write it down on a sticky note and drop it in the jar. At the end of the week, take a look at all those notes, but instead of feeling embarrassed, celebrate them. Say, these are my proof that I was brave enough to try. Every oops means I learned something new. And remember, native speakers mess up all the time too. They pause, they say, they start again, they laugh at themselves. It's completely normal. So when you make a mistake, try saying out loud, great, that's a new drop of rain for my English plant. Or, I learned something today. And if you forget a word, don't give up. Describe it another way. For example, I can't remember the word for umbrella, but it's the thing you use when it rains. That's real communication, and your brain is actually getting stronger every time you do this. Let's practice it together now. Think about the last time you made a mistake in English. Can you remember what it was? Say it out loud. And then, seriously, try this. Give yourself a little smile and say, that's my English rain for today. It might feel silly, but it's how you turn every mistake into growth, not just for your English, but for your courage. So, the next time you trip over your words or say something wrong, remember, you're not failing. You're growing, one little rain shower at a time. All right, let's keep moving. Now that you're not afraid of mistakes, it's time to use all these small moments and turn them into real, honest, tiny English stories, your own.
Now, once you stop worrying so much about mistakes, you might start to notice something beautiful. Every little thing that happens in your day, even the boring, ordinary stuff, is actually a piece of your own story. You don't need to talk about big, complicated topics. You don't need fancy words or perfect sentences. All you need is a real, tiny story from your life. Think about it. Maybe you missed the bus this morning. Maybe your coffee tasted extra good. Maybe you tried a new recipe for dinner and it turned out not so great, but hey, you didn't burn the kitchen. These are the stories that make your English yours. So tonight, before you go to bed, find a quiet spot. Just talk to yourself for 1 minute. No script, no pressure. It could be as simple as, today I was late for work. I ran to the bus stop, but the bus left. I felt a little sad. But then I saw a dog wagging its tail, and I laughed. Or, I cooked noodles for dinner. They were too salty, but at least I didn't spill anything. If you don't want to talk out loud, just write a couple of sentences in a notebook or whisper to your pillow or your phone. You can even try this. Say 3 sentences, one about yesterday, one about today, and one hope for tomorrow. For example, yesterday I watched a funny video. Today I finished all my work. Tomorrow I hope I wake up early. It doesn't have to sound perfect. Nobody is listening but you. But the more you practice telling these little stories,
the more your words will start to flow, not from the textbook, but from your real life. And you might be surprised how much you remember, how much you start to enjoy expressing your feelings, your small wins, and even your not-so-great days. So, what's your story for today? If you feel brave, say it out loud right now, or save it for tonight, just before you close your eyes. Because your English isn't just about right or wrong. It's about sharing who you are, even if it's just with yourself. And after all these small steps, after letting English quietly float into your day, after talking to yourself, smiling at your own reflection, telling little stories about your life, there's one more thing I hope you remember. You're not doing this alone. Right now, somewhere in the world, there are thousands, maybe millions of people trying to do exactly what you're doing. Maybe they're also listening to this podcast. Maybe they're whispering to their coffee cup. Maybe they're writing a little story in their phone, just hoping to feel a bit more confident in English. You are part of a gentle, invisible community. All of us learning, all of us making mistakes, all of us hoping to feel a little braver each day. So next time you feel silly or stuck, pause and imagine someone else, maybe in Japan or Brazil or just next door, struggling with the same words, the same feelings, the same hopes. If you want, send them a little high five in your mind. Think, we're both doing our best, one word at a time. And if you feel ready to connect for real, share a tiny story or just a simple sentence in the comments below. Maybe something you did today, or one thing you feel proud of, even if it's small. You never know. Someone else might be reading, smiling, nodding, and suddenly feeling a little less alone too. Because every gentle effort you make, every whisper, every little story, every oops and I did it, is a light on the path, not just for you, but for everyone learning with you. So keep going. Your English is growing stronger, and you've got a whole silent team, all of us, cheering you on. If this video helped you, even just a little, I hope you'll leave a comment and let me know. Maybe your tiny story, or just a quick hello. And if you like what we're Let's English Together building here, a simple like or subscribe means a lot. Every single one reminds me there's a real person out there walking this English journey too. Thank you for every like, every new subscriber. You're not just a number. You're part of this gentle, growing community. I'm really grateful you're here. See you next time. And remember, your English matters because you matter.